Hello. So today we're going to be talking about multiplying with degrees, minutes, seconds, or DMS. So how do you multiply degrees? So first of all, why would you need to do that? You probably understand adding and subtracting a little more. Because if we're here and we want to increase that, we increase it by a certain amount, right? Or if we're here, we want to decrease the degrees, we decrease it by a certain amount. So adding and subtracting makes sense, but why multiply? Well, let's say you need to increase it by the same amount every time. Well, you need to understand how to multiply then, which many of you are probably thinking, well, I know how to multiply numbers, so it's the same thing. It is, but you have to remember that 60 seconds equals 1 minute and 60 minutes equals 1 degree. So if we're going to keep it with that same standing that we can't have the number 60 greater than or equal to 60 for the minutes or the seconds, and we have to regroup those that are, then you will have to make those changes. And if you understand that as well as just multiplying, you'll be completely fine with this. So let's get started. So with this example here, we have 8 degrees, 17 minutes, and 32 seconds. And we're multiplying that times 5 because I need to make this 5 times as large. So normally what would you do? You would just multiply. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to multiply 8 times 5, 17 times 5, and 32 times 5, and put them in their respective places. So 8 times 5 gives us 40. Okay. 17 times 5 gives us 85. And last but not least, 32 times 5. 32 times 5 gives us 140. Correct? Oh, sorry, 160. So we get 40 degrees, 85 minutes, and 160 seconds. And that's it. We're done. No, we have to make sure that this is in the standard degrees, minutes, seconds, meaning that these two guys cannot be greater than or equal to 60. If they are, we have to regroup it to the next one. Now, how do we regroup it? Well, we start off with the lowest place value and see what we need to do. In this instance, we have 160. This is going to be very similar to what we did when we were adding them. So we have 160, and the number needs to be less than 60. So how many groups of 60 do we have? Because if you have 60 seconds, you have 1 minute, so we can move that up there. How many groups of that do we have? And I mentioned before that sometimes people subtract 60 and they subtract 60, and then they see, oh, I can't subtract anymore, so I'm going to move it up. Sometimes people are able to realize that, well, I can just subtract 120. So whichever way you need to do it. For now, I'll do the 60 each time so that you can see that you can add it over. So I'm going to subtract 60 here. And when I do that, I get 100. And I see that that's another, so when I subtract the 60 seconds, that's another minute I can add here. Okay. And then once again, I see, oh, I got another 60 I can get rid of. So I'm subtract that 60 and I'm left with 40 seconds. That's another one I can add here. And so when I do that, that gives me 87. Well, from 87, I can once again subtract 60, right? Because 60 minutes equals 1 degree. So I'm going to subtract that 60 from here. And I'm left with 27 minutes. And I'm going to add one more to my degrees here. And now I have 41 degrees. So my final answer will be 41 degrees, 27 minutes, and 40 seconds. Okay, so let's go through that again. So we started off by multiplying our degrees, minutes, seconds by whatever the number was, and it was 5. So 5 times 8 gives us 40. 5 times 17 gives us 85. 5 times 32 gives us 160. And so from there, we realized that, hey, we have too large a number for seconds. We have too large a number of minutes. So we're going to subtract 60. And for every 60 seconds we have an extra minute. So I subtracted 2 60s from that, or 120 in total. And therefore I added 2 more minutes to my total number of minutes. And so I'm left with 40 seconds. From here, since I added those 2 extra minutes, my 85 becomes 87. And I realized that, hey, that's greater than 60, so I can subtract 60 from it to increase my degrees by 1. And when I subtracted 60, I got 27 minutes. I added 1 more to the degrees, and I got 41 degrees. And that's how you multiply with degrees, minutes, seconds. Let's do 1 more just to solidify this and so that you get another example. So I'm going to erase this now, so if you need to pause so you can look at it and copy it down, and go ahead. All right. So one last one here. Let's do 43 degrees, 28 minutes, and 42 seconds. And I don't want to multiply by 5 again, although I love the number 5. In this case, we will just do, let's do 3. We'll multiply by 3. So, multiplying by 3 now, and let's see what we get, shall we? So, 3 times 43 will give us 129. Okay. And then 3 times 28 will give us 84. Okay. And then 3 times 42 will give us 126. So 43 degrees, 28 minutes, 42 seconds gives us 129 degrees, 84 minutes, and 126 seconds. All right. Well, from here, we see that, hey, this guy is greater than 60. So is this guy. So we need to subtract those 60s and add a minute to the next level, or add a 1 to the next level. So just for the sake of understanding, I will once again subtract 60 instead of just going straight to the 120. Okay, so if I subtract 60 from here, I get 66. And because I took 60 seconds to equal 1 minute, I can add a minute over here. And if I subtract 60 one more time, because it's still larger than 60, I end up with 6 seconds that are left. I add 1 more minute here. So I have a total of 86 minutes. 86 minutes is larger than 60, so I can subtract 60 there. And I'm left with 26 minutes. And because I subtracted 1, I can add 1 here. And I'm left with, in total, 29 degrees plus 1 more will give us 130 degrees. We have 26 minutes. And last but not least, we have those 6 seconds. Okay, so that means 43 degrees, 28 minutes, and 42 seconds times 3 will give you 130 degrees, 26 minutes, and 6 seconds. And that is multiplying with degrees, minutes, seconds. So in essence, multiply the number by each part individually, and then convert any parts that you need to. So if you have something that's greater than 60 seconds, then you take, for every 60 seconds, you add another minute. For every 60 minutes, you add another degree. All right, awesome. Well, that is multiplying degrees, minutes, seconds, and I will see you soon.